Good afternoon. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. My name is Phil. What were we all doing 4 years ago today? We were winning the Premier League. Yes, we were winning this. You know, we've got one of these. We were winning this little baby. Thanks to Spurs absolutely chucking it away on that night and the whole season. But to be fair, I don't care about Spurs. I care about Leicester. And we totally won this thing. We didn't need Spurs to do anything. We beat them by miles as it was. In fact, I think it was even Arsenal finished second. So get your views in, get your comments in. We want to hear your memories of May the 2nd, 2016, the day we beat, the day Chelsea drew with Spurs, I guess, but the day we were crowned champions of this country. So get your views in, get your comments in, and sit back and enjoy today's Leicester City Fan Zone show. Yes, good afternoon and welcome. Like I say, this is Leicester Fan TV. 4 years ago, what were you doing? What do you remember? Where did you watch Spurs chuck it away against Chelsea? Were you down the pub? Were you at the game? I know some Leicester fans went down to watch it. Were you with your mates? Were you at home? Did you do it as I did? I'm going to admit it. I've said it before. Spurs were winning 2-0. I turned over. I was like, oh, let's save it till Saturday when we beat Everton and we'll win it then. And then I flipped back to check it and it was suddenly 2-1 and super exciting. I've got loads of people joining us today. So let's start by bringing in three of the regular people. Good afternoon, Jamie. Good afternoon, Chappers. Good afternoon, Tom. How are you?
Oh, what a day. What a day.
Great day. Great evening, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic evening.
It was absolutely superb. Now, listen, before we go too far, guys, I hope you'll bear with me. We've been asking people all day to send in their photos. So do you mind if look at that? I know him. That's Waller. That's Mark Townsend. How are you, Waller? That's Waller in Thailand today. Obviously cheering on and enjoy. We asked everybody to put their shirts on, their Leicester shirts on, and Waller, they're obviously allowed out there, but with masks on, so he's down the boozer. So I'm just, as we start to talk, I'm going to put cheers. I think that's Matty Bond, who's might be coming on later. Anyway, I'll just flick through these while we start. Let's start with you, Jamie. What was it like in the Foxes' Arms? Did you watch the Chelsea Spurs game? Well, Jamie's gone.
Jamie's froze.
Let's take him out.
I'll tell you what I was up to. I'll tell you what I was up to instead, Phil. So I had my lad at home and my missus was working, so I was stuck at home watching the game. I had no choice but to stay in because we ain't got babysitters on speed dial. The goal went in. I bounced up and down, screaming silently, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Because you got a little baby, yeah.
Mrs. walks in from work and sees me dancing around like an headless chicken, waiting for a full-time whistle. And she's like, "What's going on? What's going on? We've won it. We've won it. You won't believe it. We've won it." And she was like, "No, really? We've won it? Yeah, we've won it." And it was just bonkers. And from that moment, then you just go on social media and you just see the photos of people gathering at the ground. It was just, I couldn't get there. I wanted to go there, couldn't get there. But what a moment. And I don't think we'll ever forget it, will we?
No, Tom, from your point of view.
Well, same as Chappers, really, because Henry at the time was only about 6 months old. So Henry was upstairs in bed. H had gone to bed as well. And I was sitting downstairs, a bit like you, Phil, at 2-0, very bit depressed. I thought we were going to get done and dusted. I thought Chelsea were going to help us out that night. And they did. And then I just remember opening a bottle of champagne at home, drinking that, and then heading to the ground. Had to be near the ground. I took, to see what was going on, and the atmosphere of the ground was second to none, as you can imagine. The thousands and thousands of people, nowhere to park a car. It's just immense, absolutely immense. And it's something that will never be taken away from us. We've done it as a club, and the rewards since then has proven it. What a massive achievement to do with the Champions League football after that.
Yeah, honestly, the top biased of the big six sides, this won't be taken away from us, regardless of the media portraying the bigger sides on everything that they do. No one will take this away from us, Phil. No one will ever take this away from us.
Now, I'm going to go to you in a minute, Jamie. I'm just going to get, as ever, we can get people's views on him. Mick Paget says he was down the local hero. Somebody on Facebook group said he was outside Jamie Vardy's house where they're obviously all having a party. Danny was saying it was a great early birthday present. Don't think I stopped partying until after the Victoria Park party. I think that was true. Nick says true champions of England. Kenny says Boris is a Leicester fan. I'm not sure he actually is. Jack Marson says the Hazard goal. Yes, we'll talk about that. Definitely, we'll come on to that. Flynn says Hazard. Yeah, what a moment that was. Jamie, come on then. Let's get you back on now. You've rejoined us. What was it like in the Fox's arms?
Absolutely rammed. We had loads of Leicester fans the day before watching the Leicester Man U game. And then there weren't that many Leicester fans in, but there was lots of Chelsea and Spurs fans watching the game and a few neutrals. And when Spurs went 2-0, the place was, they were all laughing and joking and everything. The Spurs fans were there, and I just couldn't do it. I had to go and stand out the back for a few minutes because I was getting ribbed to, it was awful. Couldn't take it. And then all of a sudden, as soon as Chelsea scored one, and then we scored, then for the last 8 minutes, after Hazard scored for the last 8 minutes, I was just on tenterhooks. And then as soon as that final whistle went, I ran into the back, got my flag, and I was running up and down the high street, the main road in Alcudia, bullfighting the cars with my flag as I was running around. And I had all these people looking at me like, what the bloody hell's he doing? If Spain had done it, it wouldn't have been a problem. If anybody in Spain had, wouldn't have been, they didn't know what was going on, but there was me bullfighting the cars. I can't remember much about the rest of the night, but that was all I can remember. But I had to be at work nice and early the following morning, which weren't the best feeling.
It sounds like a good night, mate.
Oh, it was. It was. Just dodging the cars, bullfighting and going, ole, ole. I haven't got a clue what I was doing, but nearly got myself killed, but I'm still here to tell the tale.
Brilliant.
Somebody from Facebook say he works in Cyprus and it was an unbelievable scene. So if you were around the world on that night when Leicester won it, like Jamie was, let us know what it was like, where you were, and let us know. David Gavin is saying he was in Ireland, and it was a great day. I know that everybody, from winning what was going on, everybody seemed to suddenly recognise this badge, recognise that you were from Leicester. People were just talking to you. Danny's saying, yeah, broke up with my missus that night because she was fuming about me and the lads partying. I didn't care. Leicester were champions.
That's brilliant.
That's pushing the bounds a bit, isn't it? That's pushing it a bit too much, that is.
That's brilliant. Priorities, aren't it?
Must have been some party, that.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, guys, we've got a couple of more fans. I've put the link out there for anybody who wants to join in. I'm going to add in Don, and we've got Josh. How are you guys?
Yeah,
good. How are you?
Good, Don. Let's start with you, Don, if you can. You're far-flung fox over in the States. I know you've been over with us and done some games with us, and you do some content. Talk us through, what was it? Did you watch the Chelsea Spurs game that night, and what was it like around the States being a Leicester fan?
We have a pretty tight-knit group. I mean, we have friends, of course, that were from Leicester, but also there's a bunch of guys from Philly and New York, and we were all talking and watching the matches together, and it was absolutely amazing. I mean, the intensity of it, and when that goal was scored and they won the league, they were showing the video of Vardy and the party and all that stuff, and I mean, I don't remember the end of the night. Like, it was just that kind of party. It was amazing.
Typical you, Don. Typical you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got to ask you, Don, do you remember many nights, to be fair? I've seen your social media, mate.
Just a few, but no, it was just the intensity of that season and the incredible feat that they pulled off. It's just something I'll never forget. And I was lucky enough to enjoy it with Jim, who you all know, and my wife, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, David Gavin says here, Don.
Oh, that's brilliant.
David says it's that he was a celebrity in his hometown for a week.
Yeah.
Because he was a Leicester fan, Don. Did you have people just coming up to you because you were wearing a Leicester shirt in the States?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny too, when you would walk through any place public, like people, especially, you'd find out who were Premier League fans because they would point at you and go, "He's wearing a Leicester shirt," like. And of course, you got the question like, "Did you just get that kind of stuff?" But yeah, I mean, you were instantly recognized that King Power jersey. It was it was nice to see them get the recognition, if you want to know the truth, because we follow them. And of course, all you see here are, Chelsea and Man U and all that stuff. And for people to actually recognize the badge was just really nice to see that.
Yeah, and Don, let's be honest. But before anybody comes out and says plastic fans from all round, you've been following Leicester since way before we were any good, haven't you, Don?
2010 we started.
2010. So. You started when we were pretty crap.
Yeah, but it was so much fun to watch. I mean, to watch the team build and climb. We were very fortunate to come in when we did and start following the team then, because it's just been it's been a roller coaster ride. There's no question, but it was absolutely incredible from start to finish. And, that year they pulled it off. It's just indescribable.
Don, before we let you go, and thanks for joining us. Hopefully you're safe and well over there. But Don, can you give us I love it when you say your things like "Go Leicester" and get all pumped up about it. So can you leave us with a bit of that, mate? A bit of you. Come on, go Leicester.
Absolutely, go Leicester!
That's the way. Far flung fox.
Oh dear.
Thanks,
Brilliant.
Don. Thanks for joining us, mate. That's Don, all the way over from the States. Josh, you're a much younger Leicester fan, obviously. So you've seen some pretty poor times. You've seen some pretty good times. What's your memories of 2016?
It's brilliant.
Jamie's starting to look younger there, Dom.
I was going to say, I'm looking really young then.
All right, I'm trying to edit on the fly. Come on, Josh.
But yeah, obviously for me, I was quite young. So obviously I started supporting 2011-12 season. I think the first game was Peterborough for me. But obviously since then it's just gone. It's just gone probably different to you guys. But yeah, that night, to be honest, I had school the next day, so I was getting ready to go to bed towards the end. But yeah,
what was the atmosphere like at school as a young
man?
Yeah.
To be honest, there weren't many Leicester fans because obviously most people support like Man United, Chelsea, whatever. Yeah. So there's a few people, but yeah.
We've all grew up like that, mate. We've all grew up like that.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Yeah, but yeah, the atmosphere at school was brilliant. There's a few Leicester mates who I'm friends with, so yeah, it's brilliant. But yeah, on the night when Tottenham went 2-0 up, I stopped watching for half of it. But obviously when Chelsea got one back, started watching them. But yeah, it was just brilliant after that.
It must be. I mean, lads, we all come from an era where we had to go to school, work for years, and never had too much to cheer about for Leicester. I mean, don't get me wrong, we had playoff wins, we had cup final wins, but Josh, that must have been quite special to suddenly be able to put the shirt on and be quite proud around the place. Amongst all it does my nutting when you see Man City shirts around Leicester and where I live, Loughborough.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Josh. Anybody got a question for Chappers?
Josh,
go on.
Hold on, Josh. I do like your vlogs, by the way. Keep doing them. They're pretty damn good. So keep up with them. They're good, they are.
Yes, Josh, you've got one coming up for us, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm going to get a video sorted after this for Coutinho. So yeah, that should be a good video.
Oh, is he coming then, Josh? If you had inside information.
Yeah.
Hey, would you want Coutinho? Let's go through that one very briefly. I know we're talking about the Champions Day, but
yes,
Chappers.
Yes,
I think it'd be a good replacement for James Maddison if the rumours are true about James Maddison's boyhood dream of going to Man United does come true. Let's be honest, he is a Man United fan, isn't he, James Maddison? Let's not lie about it. He is. So I don't know. We'll see. But Coutinho's a cracking replacement, a massive name. He's played for Rodgers before. It's a possibility.
Yeah, Tom, what would you say?
You're not going to turn that kind of player down. I don't want Maddison to leave. If you can keep both, it's even better. You've got a good backup and another good player on the pitch. But yeah, of course you want to sign that caliber of player. And if hopefully the Champions League next season, you're going to need the squad bigger than it is now.
Josh, go on. Before you leave us, what are your views on Coutinho? I know you're going to make a video on it, but
obviously
you'd like?
Player. Yeah, he's a brilliant player. Obviously, he played under Rodgers for Liverpool. So if he's going to join anyone in the Premier League, I think Leicester's going to be up there. Obviously, a young squad looking to get in the Champions League. But yeah, I guess you find out in the video, so you have to watch that.
Oh, I like that. Chappers.
Yeah, that's good, Danny. That's good.
Chappers, you've got to be pleased with that.
Yeah.
Unreal. I think I'm going to leave now.
Tell you.
I'm going to let him take over everything.
Josh,
I'm out.
Josh knows how to do it. He's leaving us all on a cliffhanger. Watch his video shortly.
Yeah,
we'll share that.
That's how you do it.
Perfect.
That's how you do it.
What perfect. Thanks, Josh, for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
See you, Josh. Thank you.
Cheers, Josh.
What excellent got
Just
some,
going on something what
That's how you plug a
Just
video,
going
you see.
yeah. Just going on to what Don was saying about how everyone was going up congratulating. It felt like over here everyone was coming into the bar and shaking my hand saying congratulations. It actually felt like I was some kind of ex-player or something, or done something. Even Spaniards were coming in and saying, "Oh, you follow Leicester?" And I went, "No, I follow Leicester, not Leicester, Leicester."
Leicester.
But they kept coming in and shaking my hands. Even in Lidl's, I had a couple of Spaniards shaking my hand, saying, "Well done, well done." Thinking, bloody hell! So the word was going around around here in Spain. So it was fantastic. I loved it. Mrs. didn't, so I weren't doing a lot of work. So I kept talking about football, but her fault. I lost.
David Gavin says he's an old dog now. Well, he's as old as me and Jamie, put it that way. He's been watching Leicester since. Old. He says he's been
Very
watching
old
Leicester since 1972. What a roller coaster ride it's been. Been going since a cold December Saturday when we beat Coventry 2-1 away.
He must be older than us because he started in 72. We didn't start it till 77, so he must be a lot older than us.
A lot older, yeah, perhaps 10 years, 5 years. Listen, I've got somebody else joining us.
Ooh, who have we got?
We've got yes, it's always interesting.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
It's Sean and Alfie.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
All right.
All right, lads. How are you?
All right, Sean. How are you?
Not too bad, Jamie. Hi all. Yeah, doing well, mate. Thank you.
Happy Champions Day.
Thank you very much. And to you lot.
Well, I think you should be happy Leicester's Day,
We've got the
really.
flag up there today. We've let the cover the picture up just so we could hand the flag up behind us.
Fantastic.
Do I open a beer or not, Phil? I don't know. Is
Yes,
it too early?
open it.
You can have
no.
a beer if you want.
Let's
Let's ask Sean and Alfie. What's your memories then? Let's start with you two, because obviously we've got Alfie who's young, and it's sort of like we're talking with Josh. It's like just you take it in your stride. Leicester are champions. What was it like?
Well, it was really good when I was watching it on the TV, and then
Well, it was your first season, weren't it? It was, believe it or
yeah.
not, it was Alfie's first season. He had his first season ticket that year. So.
Imagine that.
Some of us had to suffer for years.
Yeah. So yeah, he thinks, well, then obviously he was disappointed the following season. He says, "Dad, how come we didn't win it the following year?"
Sean, did he go, "Oh, does this always happen, Dad?"
I think he realises now it doesn't always happen. No.
Yeah.
Not every season. Alfie.
We were in the bar in Bella Medina. We'd gone out there. I think it was May Bank holiday, and we met loads of different fans from different. We went down to watch I think it was a Sunday afternoon game, wasn't it? The Man United and Leicester.
Yes.
We watched
May the first.
that. Yeah, that was on the Sunday, and then obviously was it the Tuesday? It was the Tuesday night, weren't it?
Monday night. No, Monday night.
Monday night. Yeah, it was Monday night.
The very next day.
Yeah, we went down to watch that, and we was in this bar, just like your bar, Jamie. We were in Bella Medina, and we were the only Leicester fans in there, if I remember rightly. And we were just treated like royalty. And there were people coming up and giving Alfie money, saying, "Here, mate,
Man U fan.
A Man U fan gave him €10 in the bar."
Take their money. Definitely take their money.
Yeah, so it was it was surreal, really. When we spent it out there, we had about 4 days left out in Spain, and then obviously got back ready for the parade down at Vicky Park, and then obviously the Everton game as well, where we lifted the trophy. So yeah, and let's say I've got a few connections with the club anyway, so I've been quite close to it with ex-players, and my brother works for the club as well. So yeah, we've enjoyed it. And then obviously I had the fortune to go out to Thailand as well with Leicester City. So
wow,
that was great. Good. Yeah, which I've obviously posted some videos on the chat group.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They were good. They were.
We did.
I got a question for you. At what point did you think we'd won the league? Mine was when we beat Man City 3-1, but I don't know. Was yours any different?
I think once you beat Man City, it's one of those. You've beat Man City. It's 3 points, so it's just another game that was out the way. Really, it's a big game.
Just another game.
Well, it was every game.
Just another game.
You were disappointed if you only got a point. You come home, even if you was away from home, you think, wow, only a point. But like I say, we did well to get all those 3 points. Unbelievable.
So Alfie, now Leicester don't win it every season. I actually think we've won it once. I actually think we could win it again now. And I never believed we could win it once, Alfie. So do you think we can win it again?
Yes, definitely can win again.
Yes. Good lad.
I think we
I like
need
it.
squad to win it again.
Good lad.
That's mad, isn't it? To grow up like that as a Leicester fan. We've all grew up with Leicester. to grow up like that with like the belief that your team could definitely win it again. It's unbelievable. It's just changed everything, hasn't it? Since winning that, changed everything.
Yeah. Changed football completely, not just for us, football in general.
Yeah,
giving everyone that little bit of hope.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Alfie and Sean, thanks so much for joining us today.
Okay, have a fantastic
Cheers,
Saturday.
guys.
Yeah,
See you later.
enjoy it.
Thanks, lads.
Catch up
Thanks,
tomorrow,
lads.
Jamie.
Thank you.
Take
See you
care.
later, Sean.
Bye bye.
Well done for wearing your shirts as well, lads. That's absolutely brilliant.
Keep them coming, Phil.
We've
Yeah.
got some people joining us, which is great. Let's bring in Matty Bond. Hi, Matty.
Hope he's not
Here he
sitting
is.
on top of an horse.
Hi guys. How are we? All right.
How are you, Matty?
Hello, Matthew. How are you?
So he's
Yeah,
got the
very well, thanks.
he's got the correct jersey on, Phil.
Yes, he has got the correct one.
He's got the correct one on.
I was wearing retro
Hold on.
earlier, but I've changed into the title-winning top.
Very good.
Yeah, you got the badges on though, have you, Matthew? Well, I haven't either, but you haven't got.
No.
Chappie, you've got the badges on, ain't you?
Yeah, but mine's for the season we were actually reigning, defending, undisputed Premier League champions.
Of the world.
Matty, where were you on May the 2nd, 2016 then? Talk us through your experience.
Well, that's quite similar to the other lads, really. I had a young family at the time, and I was sat at home in the living room on my own. The wife was upstairs asleep. The kids were asleep because they were very small then. And soon after 9 o'clock, I woke the whole house up, and I think the rest of the street.
Yeah, I've got to be fair with you, lads. On the Sunday, I invited everybody I knew around to watch Leicester against Man United. We had tellies on in the kitchen, in the lounge. We had beers, we had snacks. It was all ready, and then it was typical Leicester, or typical old Leicester, I was going to say, where you get all ready for a big day, and then the bubble is burst because it didn't happen, and then on the actual day, on the Monday, it was quite an eerie experience, Matty.
Yeah, it was. It was. I'm not saying anticlimax, but it was. The job was done and dusted, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's just a couple of things that I made a note of earlier of that season, which really stuck in my mind. If you don't mind me sharing,
Go for it.
the first game of the season against Sunderland, when we absolutely hammered them, was the first one.
4-2, wasn't it?
Carry on from the season before, from the Great Escape, and that gave us a great platform, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely did.
The other thing that really stuck in my mind was we were doing really well the whole season, and everyone was on about it. I don't live in Leicestershire anymore. I'm down in Swindon, and when we beat Man City away, that was when, personally, I really believed we could have a right go. I think we might have done it. I don't know if you lads thought that was a slight turning point.
I think that was one of the best. It probably is the best ever away day Leicester game, I think, lads, wasn't it? And for me, suddenly it was like, holy, we could do this. Yeah.
I'm just going through the games now.
The game that stood out for me. Oh,
go on, Jamie. Which game was?
No, I was going to say the game that stood out for me was the West Ham game when Lejoa stepped up with that penalty in about the 95th minute, and he had like ice running through his veins, and he just easily just put the ball in the back of the net. And it was like we'd won. We'd won. We only got a point, but we looked like we win. My bar was absolutely rammed, and I was literally hanging off the light fittings. I jumped up so much, like we'd actually won. Got 3 points, but it was an unbelievable feeling. It was absolutely unbelievable. I still don't like John Moss to the day. Don't. That feeling, I've never had that feeling before. It was unbelievable. That's what I thought.
Yeah, do you remember the aftermath of that match? Do you remember, lads? The media were saying that we weren't going to be able to win it now because Vardy got
a one-man team.
Yeah, because Vardy got carded that game and he was going to be out. Yeah. And then the following game we won 4-0 against Swansea. Without Vardy even on the field. It just
Paul Merson said about Swansea will be there with having their haircuts and the nutrients, a bit like what Chappie's got, with all the cuts going down and everything, and getting himself prepared for TV. And it did work because Leo was there, scored a couple of goals, and that's it. We're more than a one-man team back then. We were.
Well, I was going to say the turning point for me that season was the Man City game, brilliant, awesome. But to lose to Arsenal and then come back and go on a mini run, and we won 5 out of 6 games 1-0. We beat Norwich, we beat Newcastle in that
Yes.
run. And then the one that stands out for me, and being at the ground that game, I think was Selhurst Park when we won Palace 1-0. That was the one that made me believe we could actually do it. That was mid-April.
Were you there, Tom?
Yeah, I was. And
I went.
To spend an hour and nearly an hour after the game in the ground chanting, we're going to win the league.
Go on then, Tom, sing it, Tom. Sing it, Tom. Sing it, Tom. Go on.
Was that the
you won't believe us, you won't believe us.
You won't believe us. We're gonna win the league. But I think that's the one for me. Those games, the Norwich one especially, to score in the 90th minute against them.
That was the earthquake, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'd missed so many good chances in that game, and it was just like, especially after to lose to Arsenal in the way we did in the last minute, to come back the next game. I think it gave us a right momentum shove that we've done it now. We've come and won game in the 90th minute. There you go, lads. I think Fergie used to say it's not about your score, it's about winning those 1-0s. And they were the ones that pushed us over the line at the end. Those 5 out of 6 games, 1-0, were massive for the club and get us to that championship.
Did we win a lot of 1-0s? Jesus.
I've got a question for you all, and as well as the fans watching as well. On that season, that season we won the title, 3 of your best goals. Tell me, what's your
Matthew's got to start that one.
Come on, Matty, give us one of them.
My favourite, I think, was, and it sticks out in my mind, is the Robert Hoof.
Yep.
Which one?
The header.
The Spurs one.
The one away Spurs one.
I mean, that was just unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't 100% expected, and it was bang in.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. The original slabhead.
I was in Lanzarote for that game, and my Spurs mate, he texts me and he says, "Oh, that big slabhead German just scored for you." And I went, "You are?" I went, "What do you mean Huth has just scored?"
Which one's yours, Jamie?
Sorry.
Mine would have to be
top 3.
Well, one of them would be Vardy's goal against West Brom when we won 3-2.
Okay.
Away from home. I thought that was just a cracking goal. Drinkwater's little through ball in, ran on, and he scored it from the angle. Not the overhead one, that was the season later. But it was Vardy. Important goal against West Brom, that was 3 points and then for the last few minutes. So that'd be in my top 3.
Matty, just before we let you go, because we've got other fans joining us shortly, do you think we could win it again?
Well, I mean, it was an impossible dream, and we did it. The club is building. Of course, we could do it again. I mean, we can dream.
Hey.
No, we can do it again. The owners are behind us. We've got a great fan base. Bloody hell! Of course, we can, lads.
Yeah,
that's what we like to hear, Matty. Thanks, Matty, so much for joining us.
Thanks very much, lads. Thanks very much for having me on.
We'll look forward to meeting you at the next match.
Yeah,
where we can share a beer again.
Don't bring the horses.
Try not to, Jamie.
All right.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Matty.
Thank you. So that's Matty. Thanks so much to Matty for joining us.
Any comments?
I think Terry Fuller's.
I
think Terry Fuller's a bit behind at the minute. Phil, he's put high. What's the subject?
Oh, good old Terry.
He's a bit behind.
Terry's always a bit behind, so I would expect to get better, Terry.
Favourite 3 goals of that season? That's the subject.
I was going to say my 3 goals would be Mahrez versus Chelsea.
Yeah, a lot of people have put that.
Yeah. Nathan Dyer against Villa, because that was such a momentum to get that win in the last minute. And then I'd say Morgan against Southampton, because that's one that really made us believe. The Morgan goal, a 1-0 win against a very, very good Southampton team. And it got us over the line. That gave us another 1-0 win, but that was one. I think you saw at the end of that game, the players started to believe that they were on the way to doing this title.
Let's bring in Ross, because he's just joined us. Hi, Ross, mate. How are you enjoying? Hi, Charlie.
Hello. Are you shy?
Yeah, he's gone shy. Ross,
who's your favourite player? No, not Darth Maul, Jamie Vardy. He's obsessed with Star Wars, so yeah.
Well, hey, me and him as well, mates. So, Ross, you're enjoying obviously Champions Day out in your pink shirt. It's very windy, mate.
Yeah, so I'm just going for a kickabout.
Yeah. What's your brief memories of the day?
Oh, well, I was at work. It was because I work in a call centre. So the day before, they put the game on the TVs. Now, well, it was either that or I was watching it at my desk on my phone. So either way, I was watching the game. So I said to him, so I'm either watching the game on my phone or you put it on the TV screen. You're not allowed to watch it on your phone. I said, I'll say it again. I'm either watching it on my phone on my desk or I'm putting it on the TV screen. Your choice. 5 minutes later, miraculously, it came on. And I remember the Wes Morgan goal because, my favourite 3 goals, before I continue with that, my favourite 3 was Joa's earthquake goal.
Yeah.
The earthquake goal, that was amazing. I remember I celebrated that much, I scared my dog half to death. Because obviously we were watching it at home, and then, because he was asleep next to me, as soon as he scored, it went, so we were all celebrating and going absolutely crazy on that one. But Joa's my favourite. I think the Vardy one against Manchester United. 11 in heaven.
Yeah, record breaker. It's got to be.
Yeah, absolutely 100%. And the other one that stood out for me was the Ulloa again against West Ham in the last minute in the penalty.
Yes.
Obviously that game, John Moss, not very good. And then obviously when he scored that goal,
no one likes him.
No one likes him. No, 100%. No one likes him at all. But no, what stood out for me that season, I think when we lost to Arsenal, everyone was like, oh, we're going to wobble, we're going to slip, blah, blah, blah. And we came back bouncing more than ever. We beat Stoke 3-0.
Yeah.
Mahrez's brilliant skill, and obviously Vardy scored. It was fantastic. But that day, I remember when we scored, I just had a customer was just about to come through to me, and I popped my hold for a quick second and scared the entire call centre to half to death when I scored. When we scored, jumping up and down when Wes Morgan scored, it was brilliant. It's a shame when you win that day, but obviously the night before I was watching it the next day. I just put my son to bed. See what he's 5 next month, but when we won the league, he wasn't even 1. So a fantastic birthday present, and my son's 1, and we'll be 1, and we won the league. But yeah, it was good. It was fun. Obviously being from Sheffield, obviously I got ripped to shreds a lot, especially when I got relegated to League 1, especially because I actually didn't go into school for a week because I hated it. So to get relegated, honestly, it was horrible. Obviously, being from a different town, if your team doesn't do well, you're going to get ripped to shreds. Now, my dad's watching as well. Hi, Dad. Phil Howard's watching. I got to thank him for getting me into Leicester when I was 3 years old. So in fact, because of him, obviously my mum and dad are originally from Leicester. Got to thank him really. First game I went to, we lost to Middlesbrough 3-1. Janino ripped us apart, and a few weeks later we beat him in the cup. That was in 1997, something like that, yeah. But no, I remember when we got relegated to League 1, it was horrible. And then when we won that league that day, oh wow! I mean, obviously every Leicester fan, who's laughing? I put a status on Facebook. I put who's laughing now, I think I tagged all these school friends that used to take the mick out of me, and I said who's laughing now. Because that time there was a lot of Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, the odd Rotherham fan, Man U, Chelsea fans, and stuff like that. And I just remember I tagged them all in. I said we're laughing now because Sheffield were in League 1 at this point. Sheffield Wednesday were in the Championship. Rotherham just got promoted, so fair play to them. It was mainly Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, so I was laughing now. So it was a great feeling. And a few days later, I went out. Put it this way, I can't remember it. Some of it was in Doncaster. I was on a night out in Doncaster. And I can't control myself when I've had a few drinks singing Leicester songs. I always do. And it was the greatest feeling in the world. Got kicked out of a bar though, but it was worth it.
Brilliant. Listen, Ross, I'm going to let you go. Thanks so much for joining us, mate. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Ross.
See you, Ross.
That's brilliant. I mean, like we were saying, lads, for many of us, I don't think many of us thought that the day would ever happen, did we, Tom? Really?
Oh, no. I mean, like I say, I remember going down about 96, 97 first full season for me. And I remember once the season we first started, when we got relegated from the Premier League last season at Philston, we lost to Bolton 5-0. Michael Ricketts just destroyed us that day. Yeah. And I remember walking out that ground thinking, what's going on? Where's the team gone? What Martin O'Neill had built? Where was the club going? What was happening to my football club at the time? I remember that after that game thinking, we're in trouble here. Something's not right. To then see the eras of standard Championship football for a long, long time, to then the relegation to League 1, the promotions, the hard take to go in Cardiff and to Watford in the playoffs, to see winning the Championship, the great escape, to then follow it up by one, we brought a manager in and he was slated within a day of being at the football club that he was the first to get sacked. He was the first to get sacked. The club had made a massive mistake bringing in Ranieri. What were they thinking, blah, 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 to then prove it was all wrong and do it. And it's not just that; it's the aftermath now, and we're still seeing that the new training facilities, the standard of player we're buying. It's everything's changed so much in a space of 20 years of following the football club, or 24 years, and to see the club actually win the league. I think for me, it wasn't winning the league was the most thing. It's known that I've grown up watching Champions League football, going to school, watching my mates who are all Man U, Arsenal, Liverpool fans, watching Champions League football every single year, and saying you'll never see that, you'll never see that. That day when we got told that we were going in the Champions League before we won it was amazing for me, because it's like, we've actually done it. We're going to play Champions League football next year.
You forget we're in Champions League, man. Dilly ding, dilly dong.
Dilly ding, dilly dong.
It's perfect timing.
Blah, blah, blah. You forget. Blah, blah, blah.
What I was just going to say, somebody put a comment on earlier, and I can't scroll back to it. Claudio Ranieri, it's perfect timing to talk about him. There's no statue in Leicester. We've talked before about getting a statue. Yes. I know we could debate forever is it Nigel Pearson's team or Claudio Ranieri was the manager at the time, and without him, we wouldn't have won it, Chappie.
Why don't the fans get together and do it? Because the club's not going to do it. Why don't the fans get together? Us lot, the fans. Why don't we make a statue? Get to the council.
Where would you put it?
Put it towards the council, get the funding for it, bang. Let's put it up ourselves.
I've took it as far, chappers, to that I've had one priced up. How much do you think it costs to get a nice big bronze, full-size Claudio Ranieri statue made? I've had it priced.
I don't know. Price of it, it's got to be a price of the
15 to 20.
Yeah, it's got to be a price. It's got to be a price of a very expensive car, like 50 grand, 100 grand.
You're getting closer. It's about. I was quoted 60k. To get it made, but then the reason I think between us fans we could do that. I genuinely think we could raise 60 grand. The hardest thing is where do you put it? Like Jamie says, where would you put it?
Well, and who look,
You've got to have permission from the club. You can't just bang it up any old where, unless you put it outside the Blues bar. They won't mind.
Not necessarily permission from the club. If it was,
you need it because it's their land.
No. You'd have to put it somewhere else.
Put it somewhere else. You wouldn't need permission from the club. It'd have to be the council, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Blues bar.
Oh.
Yeah. Outside the Blues bar, they would love it.
Jamie, how about we put it up outside the Fox's Arm? It's a pilgrimage.
Oh yeah, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? They have to come and have a photo and put the scarves around it all the time. That'd be great. That'd be like going to Mecca. It would be Mecca, wouldn't it? It'd be going to Mecca.
What an idea, Jamie.
It would be. Yeah, I've got 60 grand to spare at the minute. As we're not open, I can't afford that at the minute.
We'll do a GoFundMe, mate, for the Fox's Arms.
You all have to come to the opening. The unveiling, sorry.
Oh dear.
Honestly, but Claudio Ranieri, Jamie,
yes,
he was sensational that season. He was top entertainment, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, it was when he first came. Everyone thought, "Oh, here we go. We've got the Tinker Man. He's going to make change after change after change." I think he just made. I think the whole season he only made 33 changes to the team, which is some going because the Premier League nowadays you normally got just change a week in 3 or 4 changes no matter what. And he was just unbelievable. He got on well with all the supporters. He got on well with all the press men, the media. And everything. And then that game against Sunderland. I think the Sunderland away when we won, was it 2-0? Vardy scored in the last minute to make it 2-0. He actually went over to the crowd and he was crying his eyes out, weren't he? And that's how much it meant to him. I think even then he realised then that he's probably done it. He's probably got him there and he knows what's happening, because I've never seen a grown man cry so much. Well, apart from me when we had trophy lifting, I was rolling my eyes out then. Other than that,
I mean,
I'll hold my hand up.
Tom, he kept saying 40 points, didn't he? We need to get to this mark. And then, I think, Tom, that day, I mean, he kept saying the 40 points. And then he got to that day where that press conference where he suddenly goes, I can't remember his exact words, but he goes, we're going to go for it. I mean,
now we push for the title.
Tom, talk us through.
In theory, what can you say, Claudio? And he made changes. Like, you knew something went right after about 5 games. I think the biggest one was the 5-2 defeat at home to Arsenal. And he knew then he had to change it to try and get something clean sheets. He then changed it and brought in Danny Simpson, who probably didn't think he'd get much game time. Jeffrey Slupp, who started with Richard Delat as the main fullbacks in all the games, was pushed aside. And Fuchsy came in, a Nigel Pearson signing. Just put it up there, it was a Nigel signing. And that seemed to change the way we play completely. We seemed to be a lot more compact. We tried to defend a lot better than we had done in all the previous games. And the clean sheets started coming. That was a turning point for me. Those clean sheets started coming what we were looking for, being the Palace at home game. And then he gave pizzas to all the players because they're getting the clean sheet.
You
know,
can't.
little things like that. That's to me, you could see where the players were thriving off. And I still to this day say it is a Nigel Pearson team, but it was Claudio's tactics and knowledge that made the team better probably than Nigel could have taken the club any further. And for me, like I say, the 40 points, well, like I say, you got to that just before Christmas. Like in our wildest dreams as Leicester fans, we've always been looking at the 40-point marks, thinking, well, we get to there by about March, April time, and then we're not scrapping by, you know, the last month of the year to be staying up. We're happy, you know, and we're pushing for that top 10. It was a dream come true. But say to get to 40 points, and he goes, oh, it's up to the lads to see what they want to do. You know, how far can they go? And the targets must have been set to get Champions League football, and then the rest is history.
Did any of you believe that we was going to win it during Christmas? Because they say when you're top of the table at Christmas, you go on to win it. Only one team's ever not won it, which was Liverpool. Did any of you believe that we were going to win it at Christmas? Because I didn't.
I didn't believe we were going to win it until we won it. I've got to be honest. I was still like, I watched so much Leicester. Like I say, when they can let you down, bless them, just when you think they can't let you down. So until we actually did it, I was still thinking, I was watching what Spurs were doing and thinking, I was hoping, but Jamie, I just didn't believe it till we'd done it.
No, I thought it was typical, like you said earlier, you made a comment earlier about you just thought it was going to be the old Leicester, just snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. I really thought that was going to be the way it happened. And we just kept on. And I was even looking at other results. I was more interested in the other results, the Leicester results, thinking, oh, if they pick up points there and they pick up points there. I mean, if there was one game as well, the Spurs West Brom. Spurs were all over West Brom, and West Brom held out for a 1-1 draw at the White Hart Lane. And then I thought, blimey, that's put the pressure on Spurs. And we just kept winning. And the pressure was on Spurs all the time, playing catch-up. Especially with them games in April. We were playing first, and then Spurs we were like getting 10 points, and then Spurs had to win to cut that gap back down just to 7. There was so much pressure on Spurs. Towards April, I don't think they stood a cat and mouse chance, really, to be honest.
Do you remember, before the season started, do you remember like seeing the posts, like this player coming in, Christian Fuchs and N'Golo Kante, 2 players that no one had really had their eyes on, especially Kante, and they just went on to just do wonders. They were the 2,
and Shinzi. No one heard of Shinzi, really, had that.
Well, it was a top goal scorer in Bundesliga, though. I'd heard of him before, but those 2 I just hadn't have heard of at all.
No, I agree. I hadn't heard of either of them.
And there was a few,
and
a few players, guys, who came in and had real bit parts, but had, well, I say bit parts, I don't want to do them disservices, but you think of people like Nathan Dyer, you think of people like Andy King. Andy King had, and like you say, Leo Joa, these guys and Shinji all had big impacts, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think Shinji's given the credit sometimes.
No, I was going to say that exactly that season. I mean, the amount of times he would pull defenders and left and right back out of the way to give Mahrez the space to run at them one-on-one was just, fantastic. It was. I mean, I remember watching his movement, and he'd drift right in between the fullback and the centre half and pull them to the side and just give Mahrez the run at every single player every time. And he was such an unselfish player. And that's the thing about him. I mean, look, he might have not scored the goals as you want for a striker in this league, but his work rate and he's tracking back his movement to win that ball. And then you had Leonardo starting some games, and Vardy, if Vardy wasn't on form, you knew the goals were coming from somewhere. Unsung era for me, Albrighton, the amount of crosses he put in the box over that title winning season must be up there with some stats, because he put so many in. A player who was on, didn't start a league game up to the Great Escape, the 7 running games when we won. He hadn't played a game really for us that season, but a bit part player to then really kick on the following season. Fantastic from both of them.
Let's bring in Danny Harrison. Danny's joined us. Hi, Danny.
I thought you said Danny Simpson. There.
I thought you said Danny as well.
My heart just went.
Chappers, not only am I doing this, I am on another screen sorting that out, and it looks like it's going to happen.
I'm gutted because I've got to go in whenever my phone rings, I've got to go.
Don't jinx it, mate.
Just audio it. Just turn your audio off, Chappers.
Just listen to me. As soon as I'm going to mute and go on the radio. All right.
We've got one Danny on now. You never know. Fingers crossed, everybody. We might get another Danny on in 20 minutes.
Oh my word!
Ooh. So anyway, let's start with you, Danny. Number 1, Danny.
Exactly.
Got your shirt on. Well done.
Yeah.
And we know Danny does all the drawings. What's it? Champ, come on, stand up. Let's have a look at that.
That's it.
Was that your age at the time when we won it, Danny?
I wish.
Again, Danny, you've supported Leicester long enough, clearly, like we all have. What did you ever think it could happen, and what were your memories?
No, I never thought it could happen, but I actually was a bit sad. I watched it on my own in my man cave because my wife doesn't let me watch football in the house. So,
that was the Chelsea Spurs game.
Yeah, and obviously I live in Nottingham, so my neighbours are Forest fans.
Oh, boo, boo!
They must have heard me going absolutely mental by myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are some of the highlights, Danny, for you from that season?
Well, Man City away, that's got to be the highlight of the season for me. That game, that's when I first thought we could actually do it.
Yeah,
that's special goal from Mahrez as well, where he skipped over that challenge.
I mean, Mahrez, we haven't really touched on him. And I know a few Leicester fans have got a bit of a sour taste on him, but I want to enjoy Riyad Mahrez. That season, Danny, was absolute. He is, for me, that's the best I've ever seen a Leicester player be. He was just sensational, wasn't he, Danny?
Yeah, he was for me too. I mean, I know he left under a bit of a cloud, but I'll forgive him that. I mean, for what he's given us. I mean, come on. I mean, you got to forgive the guy. He's got ambition. Okay, he maybe not going to get European football now. Perhaps he'll want to come back, but you got to take your hat off him for what he did while he was here.
And like you were saying, one of your favourite moments was Riyad Mahrez away at Man City. Tom, for you, Riyad Mahrez?
Oh, as much as it hurts me when he left, the way he left, he was bitter, and it was bitter.
I can't hear Tom.
There was a sad way to go, but there were so many highlights of that season. And like I say, the whole team was thing, but him and Vardy were the standout two, really, weren't they? I mean, they combined so many times that season, setting goals up after goal. But like I said, the Man City goal was fantastic away from home. The Chelsea goal at home, he just scored so many brilliant goals. But I think that season was the one that also his work rate improved. And under Claudio, he got dropped one game or two games that season. And I think it was because he wasn't tracking back enough. Within 2 weeks, he was back playing, and his tracking back got so much better than it had ever done before. Because Claudio basically told him, you up your game, you've got to track back if you want to play for this team. You can't just drift around the park. And we just saw the best. And even the seasons after that, he was getting better and better positioning-wise and as a player. And like I said, you can't fault someone leaving for ambition and go and play for a big club, and they are a big club, Man City. But it was just the way he left a bit of bitterness between the fans and sitting in airports and stuff like that. You don't want to see it, just professionalism really what cost his legacy at the football club at the end for me.
Yeah, Danny, do you think he has left a bit of a sour taste there in people's mouths?
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't hear what Tom was saying.
No, I know. That's all right. He was saying it was a shame that Riyad has left.
You didn't miss a lot, Danny.
Yeah, he has for sure. But for me, I mean, I'll forgive him. But for what he's done for us.
Reese is saying that one day he's going to get a Riyad Mahrez tattoo done alongside his Jamie Vardy. Send us a photo of them when you've got them done, Reese. That'll be a good one. Kante was a prime. Claude Makalele says, yep. Jack. I mean, we haven't even mentioned N'Golo Kante. I mean, a one-season wonder for us. He again was just another piece of that jigsaw with Danny Drinkwater, guys.
Yeah.
Jamie?
I remember Steve Walsh saying, "Oh yeah, we play three in midfield, Drinkwater in the middle, and Kante either side of it." He did that much work. It was untrue. He used to run and run and run on. It never used to stop running, did it? It was untrue. It was so much hard work he put in.
Mm.
Yeah, Danny. Before we let you go, what was the moment when you thought Leicester were going to win it for you in that year?
I say when we won away at Man City. That was the moment I thought, we're actually going to do it. That was it was a big test for us away, and started to believe them.
Yeah, brilliant. Danny, you've not got that picture you've drawn of Claudio, have you, to hand?
I have. I thought you'd have.
Hey,
Well, let's see it. Look
You
at
see it
that.
all right?
that's good. That is.
Bit of hand drawn Claudio and the Premier League trophy.
Shame you can't get it signed. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Danny. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
We'll see you
Cheers,
soon.
Danny.
Okay, take care, guys. Thanks a lot.
Wow.
Cheers, pal. Oh, where's
Are we-
everyone gone? Just you two, Phil? Just us two?
No, I've kicked them out. Tom left for some reason. Let's see if we can add him back in.
Cheers,
And look,
Hey.
there, Tom. And listen, I'm going to add Chappie in for 1 second, and then I'm going to take him back out again.
He's still on his phone.
Look at him. He's on his phone doing a Radio Leicester interview. Should we make him full screen?
Don't plug him too much.
Right, let's kick him out. He's gone. How dare he do Radio Leicester?
He's always been gone. Yeah, but I'm just going to say, yeah, we're talking about people crying and that. When Bocelli sang Nessun Dorma, that was it. I'd gone. Sorry, I'd gone. It was one of them things. I've never been that bad at football, but when they sang that, it was untrue. It really was. It must have been the best. I wasn't there, but it must have been one of the best feelings being at the ground. See that trophy being lifted and Nessun Dorma being sung. It must have been unbelievable. It really must.
The Nessun Dorma was amazing, mate. Literally, the hair on the back of your neck was standing up. And I think, like you say, that the trophy lift, the players walking out, the way they'd done it all, it was just amazing to be able. I mean, I was at the time I was in L1, and like you say, half the away end was just Leicester fans. They'd literally sold the tickets and filled the away end with Leicester fans, and it was just something you'll never leave you. That feeling of the trophy going up. And to me, I don't think it really sunk in at that point. It was only like the next day was my 30th birthday. That's what topped it off for me that year. And it was only that night I went out and got absolutely trolleyed. I ain't going to deny it. I got trolleyed that night if we won it. And it was only the next morning I woke up in bed and I got my 6-month-old son Henry next to us. And I laid there and looked and thought, you ain't got a clue what's going on, mate, at the moment. But something's just happened that one day you'll be able to sit back and watch. And he does now. He watches the DVD and he loves Jamie Vardy. And it's just like, to have that as a 30th birthday present, you can't really ask for much more better than that on your birthday, to wake up the next morning knowing that we'd received the trophy and we were going to Stamford Bridge on the last day of the season. Claudio's going to get the maiden reception, what he did, the guard of honour from Chelsea, things like that. They're the memories you live with.
What I'm really pleased for was Alan Birchnell. He's put so much work in for that club, the Birch. He deserved that. Going out there, having everyone clapping him when he was walking out, he deserved that. But he's seen through us some really shocking times, and there have been some bad times since he's been here. But he deserved that more than ever, because he is literally Mr. Leicester City, Alan Birchnell. He deserved that.
Somebody's putting it in. I'm going to just try and see if I can find the comment. It's from Ross, who was on earlier. He says, Andy King has won the top 3 English medals. Well, he won the League One, he won the Championship medal, and won the Premier League. He's currently on loan at Huddersfield, so he's still a Leicester player. I don't think anybody else has done that, by the way. I'm not sure if my facts are right there, but to play for Leicester in League One, to play for Leicester in the Championship, to then get into the Premier League. I mean, we talk about the Jamie Vardy story, but in a way, the Andy King story as well. If I've been watching it in lockdown, I've been watching quite a lot of truth-based sports films, and they are amazing. This has got to be a film of like either Andy King or Jamie Vardy, hasn't it, Tom?
You'd have thought so, yeah.
I mean, the Andy King one, mate, I remember that debut against Southampton, he scored, we lost 2-1 at home, and you're thinking, this kid's got something. And he's gone on to do that. I mean, look, he's not played in the recent years as much as he'd liked, and he's been shipped out on loan. What I don't think he ever really wanted. He wanted to do his whole career at Leicester, what hasn't happened. Probably because the way the club progressed quickly in the last few years, and the standard of players has got better, and he probably hasn't adapted to the way we played as much, or isn't, fitting the way we play nowadays. But the League One season, the Championships, and Pearson, when he was a regular player, the Great Escape season, he played his bit parts in that to keep us in the league. But you can't forget the games he came in. The West Brom at home, he scored a cracking goal, 2-2 at home. From a pet pass from Mahrez, and he set up the goals. To play in the game at Everton at home as well, when he scored when we won the league. Those games, fair play to him. Drinkwater got suspended, in comes Andy King, and done the professional job. And I think that's one thing you don't get with footballers nowadays, is professionalism. Andy King can hold his head up high when he leaves at the end of the season.
He's done nothing wrong. Done absolutely nothing
he leaves
wrong.
He leaves as a high, and hopefully the club will give him a testimonial because he's one player who deserves it. You know, if you look back, the great players get the testimonial. For us, he's not probably the greatest player to play for us, but for commitment, you know, professionalism,
loyalty.
He deserves it.
There's not much of that about, is it?
You don't see players moan, you know, when they're not playing. He's never moaned. He's never come out in the press and slated someone that, oh, the manager's rubbish. He's not picked us. He kept his head down, and when he gets a chance, he plays, and that's fantastic for Andy King. And like the end of the season, when he leaves, whoever he goes to, he's going to get a very, very good midfielder who can do a job for them, probably in the Championship next year. Possibly Huddersfield will sign him permanently because he's made a very big impact there over the short period of time with Danny Simpson. And you wish him all the best, you really do. And hopefully one day he'll come back and get, you know, that testimony he deserves.
Jamie?
Phil, I've got some bad news for you. Chappie's back. Bring him in.
Oh,
no,
he's just messaged me. He says, I'm back.
Should we let him back in? Let's ask the fans to put a comment in. If they want to have Lee Chappie back in.
Thumbs up for Chappie, thumbs down for no. Yeah, Chappie, if you're listening, it's the fans' choice. It's not ours. Sorry.
Come on, here he is. Oh.
I can hear you.
We know we can hear you. Jamie.
We now can see you.
Talk us about Andy King, Jamie.
Well, like I say, really, Tom said it all. He's a club legend. He deserves a testimonial. They don't do it nowadays, unfortunately. Well, I don't think they do it nowadays, unfortunately. He's been there so long. He literally deserves it. Like he says, I think he's more suited to 4-4-2, which is a bit old school formation. But very rarely teams play that nowadays. That's why I don't think he fits in at the minute. But there's nothing you can say more than what Tom said, really. A club legend, and he deserves a testimonial. But like I say, they don't get him no more, do they, nowadays?
Well, they don't do testimonials anymore, Lee, because nobody stays at football club for 10 years. That's one of the first things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that because my audio went funny.
Should we get rid of him again? Lee,
everyone's put thumbs down.
I'm off.
There's lots of people put thumbs down.
Come on, Lee.
You know, I've just done radio live with you guys. It's quite, you know, I'm juggling here. I'm juggling.
Man in demand.
Yeah.
Did you mention where you were at the time?
Chappers.
Radio friends. Radio friends.
Friends.
Chappers.
Yeah.
Give us your views on Andy King.
On Andy King?
Yes.
Absolute club legend, loyal. You can't buy loyalty anymore in this day, and you know, this age of football. Loyalty is something that's, I think, worth the money. And he's also been patient with the club when he's not got his place. You know, he just kept training and kept working hard and got his places back. Obviously, his age is caught up with him now, but he's a club legend through and through.
And should get a testimonial, Chappers.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Why not?
I mean, obviously, he's still playing, and like Tom says, he's still I don't know exactly how old Andy King is, but he's probably got several years left in him, hasn't he, Tom?
I think about 31. He's only about 30, 31 at the most, and yeah, he's got a few years left in him. But I would say, when talking about testimonials, there's probably one other player at the club who's on the verge of getting one, and that's Kasper Schmeichel, because he'll be at the club 10 years next season as well. So, and he's been loyal to the football club, and you know, we never know if there was there was talk, there was transfers and money coming in for him, and he never left and he stayed. And I think you saw that with the tragedy of Vichai, how much it meant to him, this football club, the way he reacted. You know, I think that's one person we haven't mentioned today, that is Khun Vichai. You know, what a man, what a man that bloke is. And today's about him as well. You know, he's not here, sadly. And the 5 others who are on that helicopter that day and that night, you know, they deserve a mention about this, because, you know, without them, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be celebrating today, for, you know, 4 years on. And
very true.
I did a tweet this morning about that, tagged you in it, Tom. You've seen that. Thank you to the boss, because without the King Power branding coming in and saving this club, I've just said that on the radio. You were in administration at one point, you know, and we didn't know what was going to happen with the club. Some of the players came in and saved the club, didn't they? Ex-players, Heskey and Lineker and stuff. And then from then on, the King Power came in. I think it was about 2013. Their ambitions for 5 years for European football. I think it was 2013, something like that. We all laughed. We all laughed, and then only 2.5 years later, they win the Premier League. You know. It was unbelievable. And look where we're going now. £100 million extension, £100 million training facility, state of the art that no other club's got, and an extension to our current stadium, which put us to what, 42, 43,000, as well as whatever else is going on. You know, names like Coutinho being linked to the club. You know, you imagine that.
I mean, I think, like you say, it just simply wouldn't have happened if Vichai hadn't taken over. It is as simple as that. It wouldn't have happened, would it?
If Milan had still been there.
Nah, I mean, you talk about the administration. I remember that season so well. It was a season after we'd left Filbert Street. We'd just moved to the Walkers, what hadn't been completed properly, and we still managed to get it open to play football there. We travelled up the road to Nottingham Forest on a Saturday, and I remember that travel on the bus. We'd just gone into administration on the Friday evening. You know, Gary Lineker then came in on the Monday with the host of names. Carfo, warehouse owner, was his Leicester boy, put his money by his mouth with and helped the club out, Heskey, to try and save it. And be honest with you, there's one person, I can't stand the bloke anyway, so I'm going to say his name. He hates the fact that we never got any point deduction for it, and that's Neil Warnock. And I laughed this day about that bloke. He hated it, and that was the season we went back up again straight away behind Portsmouth. You know, those little things, if we hadn't gone back up again, you know, where would we be now? Who would have taken us over? Would Milan have taken a gamble? You know, you've got to thank all these people who came. They've done their part to help this football club along the way, considering we were in a complete and utter mess under John Elson, I think it was at the time, with the chairman, and we were in a bad place at the time. And, you know, to come through all that and all the hard take over the last couple of years with Khun Vichai sadly going and passing away, it's massive. It's massive. You know, these people have done for the football club. So everyone, you know, involved in that period of time deserves a mention. There's probably too many to say in there now, but what a 20 years it's been.
Dan, can I just say, I'll tell you what is massive, and that is having a Premier League winner on Leicester Fan TV. And here is Danny Simpson.
That's mad.
Hey guys,
that's brilliant.
Hey,
that's mad. You just made my day.
Do you know how pleased we are, Danny?
Absolutely mad. That is mad.
Yeah.
We just can't believe we've got you on, mate.
Oh my word!
No problem.
You've just made our day, mate.
Man. You've just made our day. Cheers.
Danny, you can't go and get the you can't go and get the medal out the safe and just show it us.
Yeah.
Danny,
you know.
we know you've just been.
I might do after this. Yeah, after this call. Yeah.
Danny, you've been doing some Zoom training. You were telling us.
Yeah, literally. I'm with I had a running session too this morning, and then it was 2:45 was a Zoom session, about 8 to 10 of the lads and the fitness coach. So yeah, we've just done that, and then now tomorrow's like a rest day. So
you can put your feet up tomorrow. Danny, you joined Leicester in 2000 and it was about 2014, I think. Did you ever, you know, you'd had a great career before that. Did you ever think, I'm joining Leicester City and we're going to go on and win the Premier League?
No, never.
We didn't either. We didn't
either.
Listen, I wish I could say, that's what I was thinking, but it was definitely not. No, for me, it was, I knew it was going to be a difficult situation to come into with Richie being, you know, the main right back for a number of years. But Steve Walsh said that, you know, at some point he believes it's what the squad needs. So obviously I was up for the challenge, and so it was, you know, I moved out of London and I came up, and I knew a lot of the players there anyway, so it was easy to transition.
Yeah, Tom, have you got a question for Danny?
Yeah, I was going to say, you've just answered. You came into the season, we were in the Great Escape season. That was something. Hello, Danny?
Is that where I couldn't hear that? What did he say?
Oh, sorry. He can't hear you, Tom. Sorry, Tom. Yeah, Danny.
I'll fire away if you want. Danny, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What was your favourite game of that season, winning the league? Which game was your favourite game?
I think being even if I wasn't a Man United fan, I think the City game, just the way we performed as a team, and just to do that against, a team that obviously was always a rival to me as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
And then for us to do that, not just to do it the way we did it, but to do it at the Etihad, You know, I thought we was absolutely excellent that day, and I think that's maybe when a lot of other teams maybe thought, oh, they have a good team.
Yeah, we all believed that game as well.
Yeah,
I think that's where most of us started believing that we was going to do it, was that game.
Yeah, because I think if I remember at times, I think we maybe even could have won by more, or the way we played. And I just thought, I remember everyone coming in and we kind of all had a little moment, and it just all looked at each other.
Yeah.
And thought, oh, we're not too bad.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was
Was
bit
that
like,
Danny?
It was like we were shocked, but we shouldn't have been.
A lot of fans say they felt like the Man City away day was just like an epiphany for the fans going, oh my gosh, we actually could win it. One of the other ones was Crystal Palace away when we won 1-0. Again, which was it, the Man City game, when you looked at each other and sort of thought, do you know what, we could be in here?
Yeah, but even, do you remember the Watford game? When
We remember them all, Danny. You know?
Yeah,
We remember them all.
I think Watford was one of the games where we actually, for only a small amount of games, where we played after Tottenham.
Yeah.
And I think
Riyadh scored 1-0.
Yeah, Riyadh just scored maybe last 15 minutes, put it in the top corner on the edge of the box. I remember that being a tough game, and it was more pressure because I'm sure Tottenham played before us. So yeah, I remember that as well, and we wasn't playing that well, but you know, you had players like Riyadh who could just, you know, bit of magic and you win 1-0.
There's one game that sticks in my mind, Dan. It probably sticks in yours. Is the Arsenal away game on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, cheers for that.
Yeah, no, but not about the actual game. About all the photos that they put on afterwards. Now, saying, did that actually fire you up a little bit more? To seeing them thinking, oh, well, they beat Leicester, we're going to win the league, because that's what all the Leicester fans thought. Did that fire you up a bit more?
Yeah, no, I think it was. Like we were a little bit surprised because they were celebrating, you know, scoring in the last minute at home against 10 men. No, against 10 men. I think the lads were 10 down to 10 men for, I think, maybe 35 minutes, which felt to me like 35 days. But yeah, for me, obviously after that, I know they put that up, but I think I just went home pretty disappointed and I thought I'd let everyone down. And I remember it was Valentine's Day. I just remember the whole thing, and I just felt like if we don't win the league now, it's down to this red card. And but Claudio, he came in and was really clever, and he just said, have a week off.
Right.
And he went, have a week off, clear your heads. I don't want you to train this week and be down. Go home, see your family, see your friends, go away. He said, when you come back next week, we go again. And honestly, we all went away. And then come back on the Monday and we kicked on.
Danny, was that a Claudio Ranieri impression we almost heard then? Come on, can you do one?
No, I'm not good at
Do it.
All right, Tom. Come on then, Tom.
All I can do.
I don't know, Danny, if you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Season after winning the league, of course, we then had the Champions League football, and there were some amazing nights at the King Power. But the standout game has to be the Seville at home and going through to the next round. What was it like coming out of the tunnel? Because the atmosphere in the ground was electric that night, and then going on to win the game with an Albrighton strike.
Yeah, I think that was one of my favourite nights. You know, it's the Champions League's tough. It doesn't matter who you're playing, but I think that game we just shown again, because we was having a tough time in the league, and I think that was it shown again to everyone that was maybe criticising us that, you know, we are fighters and against our odds again we can get through a difficult game, and that night we did that. And just a bit for me unfortunate that the game against Atletico Madrid, if we had VAR now, that obviously we lost 1-0, but it would have been a free kick, not a penalty.
Yeah.
If you remember, I think.
Yeah.
We all remember that.
Yeah, it's Mark O'Brien, wasn't it? And he's outside the box, and I just think if we came back to King Power 0-0, it would have been a completely different game, I think.
Danny, I thought after the dream of winning the Premier League, I actually thought it's going to go on. I thought we were going to win the Champions League. Did you?
Yeah,
did
so
you?
did we.
Did you?
Did you? Were you talking about that in the changing rooms?
No, it's funny because we wasn't speaking about trying to win the league at any point. We didn't mention that. We actually didn't speak about that. But then the Champions League, we were like, it's one-off games. Why not? And again, you're going and playing these teams that are experienced in that competition. I don't think them kind of teams had ever played against a team like us. And yeah, I just think if we'd have come back to King Power 0-0 from that Atletico game, I think they'd have been a bit more nervous, and with the fans and the crowd, I think we might have drew 1-1 anyway, was it?
Yeah, you drew 1-1.
Yeah. So and that was we were 1-0 down. So I think if imagine being 0-0 in that game at home,
I think we had two cleared off the goal line as well. I think Joao and Vardy had two cleared off just after he scored.
Yeah, I think which would have been Chilwell had a chance.
That's it, Chilwell. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Danny, do you feel if we had N'Golo in the squad, we would have definitely gone all the way?
You can't say no to that. It's like no disrespect to. I think Wilfred was even playing then because Wilfred that was playing then isn't Wilfred now. He's developed and progressed so much since then. But yeah, I think if we had N'Golo, then I think we got to the quarterfinals, we missed it by a goal or so, and if we had him, then I definitely agree we had a better chance and we could have been playing in the semis.
Yeah.
And Danny, go on, Jamie.
I was going to say just a quick message from an old friend of yours, Danny. Sam Baylor says, "Hope you're behaving," and she misses you at Leicester.
Tell her, hi Sam.
And she's still got your shirt on the wall. She hasn't taken it down just because you've left.
Danny, what I was going to say is that back four, that back line for Leicester in that couple of seasons, with yourself obviously in there, Robert Huth, Wes, Fuchsie as well. It was almost no nonsense, wasn't it? You were all just really, really going through the motions. Was it probably the best back line you were part of, or how did it rate?
Yeah, well, it's funny because Wes, as I say, Wes rang me last night. Because there was a game on Sky Sports at West Ham when we drew 2-2, and Wes rang me last night, and we were just reminiscing a little bit because all me and Wes did was argue for 90 minutes. We were talking about it last night because honestly, I said something could happen on the left wing with Mark O'Brien, and it didn't work out, and he shouted at me, and I was like, "What's that got to do with me?" Now we were just having a laugh because we literally, for terms of me and him, we just kept each other on our toes. We'd shout at each other, we'd demand a lot of each other, and it's partnerships. And as a back four, we were just solid, and everyone kind of knew to help your mate out if he was going to make a mistake. And I think we all helped each other out. If someone first made a mistake, which never actually led to a big mistake. It was like we didn't even need to talk to each other; we just knew.
Yeah,
that's good.
Tom.
Yeah, I was just going to say, your time in Leicester. The one thing for me was such a shame you never scored, and I still don't know how you didn't score against Southampton. And I remember after the game you were talking. I remember you pointed towards the goal, but still trying to work out how the ball did not go in the net after that game.
Mate. I'll tell you what, I got so much stick. I got so much stick off the boys. I was already celebrating before I kicked it. And I just took my eye off it for a second. I was already thinking about how to celebrate.
Can you show us now? Can you show us how you celebrate now?
You've got a few prepared.
It's probably a good thing because I probably would have got sent off. So.
And the other question I was going to say, do you remember your song? What the Leicester fans finally gave you a song, and can you remember it?
No, I can't.
Right back when you won the league. How was it?
So it was.
Oh yeah, in the
Danny Simpson. He was right back when we won
the league. Yeah.
What?
Gareth Southgate. Yeah.
Put the beep.
in the
yeah,
England team.
that was,
Yeah.
There was talk of that at one point. It was close. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, and I think maybe the same for Mark O'Brighton. But
yeah,
yeah.
You know, it's one of them things, and you know, but ultimately, you know, we do your best for Leicester, and anything else is out of your hands.
Can I ask one final question quickly, Phil?
Yep.
Jamie Carragher, your little spat.
I knew you were going to bring it up. I knew it.
Yeah, my
I
best
do all the
mate,
controversial. That's so funny, mate. Fair play to you.
Nah, do you know what? It was just one of them. I think started off as a bit of banter, but that's more because I'm obviously from Manchester. He's a Scouser, and obviously he was hammering the boys a little bit, and because the season after wasn't going so well, and Wes sent me a picture of him in a Everton kit, and just thought, why not? And it kind of escalated, but he's all right now. We got on well now. It's one of them things. It escalated, but he was a bit of banter on it.
Funny.
I've got one more question from Sam Bailey. I think she might be setting you up here a bit. What is the funniest prank you've ever played at the club? Now, she must have some stories, and I think she's setting you up here a little bit.
I always ask the rib stories, to be fair. So,
maybe she should. I don't know. Maybe she should.
Maybe she should tell us.
We'll get Sam back on. I think
we'll get Sam back on and ask her herself then.
And if it is one of the funny, I probably won't be allowed to say it. So
no,
yeah.
Oh, we'll leave it.
You keep that one.
I'll have a word. I'll give her a ring later and tell her she just set me up. I think.
My last question. My last question. What was that party like? Come on.
The night we won the league.
It must have been bonkers.
One of the best nights of my life. You know what? I remember the next day we was in training in R10 and all the cameras were down and.
Oh.
I came here 2 weeks ago and I was there for about an hour when I was wet. How many drinks did I have? About 4, man. Whoop.
Was you like him when you got in?
I was just like standing.
I have no idea what's going on.
I think we seem to have lost you, Danny. Danny, can you still hear us? I think we've lost Danny on the stream. Can you hear us, Danny?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, brilliant.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thanks,
we
Danny.
lost you. We
just lost you there for a minute.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was just saying about the night.
Honestly.
It was a good night.
Yeah, it was a good night.
Yeah,
how did Wes end up on the floor?
It was a good week.
Being dragged around.
Probably Vass, I think.
Oh, the beast! You wouldn't say no to him, would you?
Well, I think he's the only one that could probably pull him. So. But yeah, no. I remember we had a good week, and it was, I think as well. We drank a lot that week, and then we went into Everton, and I think we played really well considering,
the week you'd had.
Yeah, but no, it was good. Listen, I could go back to that time. I would.
Phil, should we wrap this up how we normally do? And ask about the season.
Go on then, chap it.
Yeah, Danny, how would you finish the season? Just hand them the title.
Listen, it's difficult. I think obviously we've got to. Obviously we've got to think about people's health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I want to be back playing football. I want to be back training. I don't want to be getting the sessions and running around the local park. But ultimately, we've got to make the right decision for the country and people's health. And for me, it's just you just don't want a second spike. But obviously, if there's a chance that we can finish the season, then let's do it. And if there's not, then I would leave everyone in the positions that they're in. And I would just say start next season as a fresh season.
Yeah.
I think that's fine, Danny. Listen, we're going to let you go, Danny, because we so appreciate you taking the time out today. Let me say to you, Danny, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Leicester fans are watching Huddersfield because obviously there's you there. This Kingy,
Yeah,
Richard Stearman.
That's just been a session with Kingy then as well. Yeah, he was in the Zoom session with me. Yeah.
Oh, bless. It's fantastic. But Danny, honestly, it's been the biggest pleasure having you on and taking time to come and join the Leicester fans.
You give us memories.
Cheers, Danny.
Forever.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Danny.
Cheers,
Take care.
pal. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Bye. Bye.
Well, there's Danny Simpson. We pulled it off, lads.
Wow.
I've got all goosey just talking.
I know.
I've
never been so nervous trying to do all the editing and all the stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
In case I press the wrong button on him. But we've got a Premier League winner on finally.
Wow, that was mad. That was mad, boys.
Disappointment Stearman didn't get him to wear his, like I asked him to ask him. I've been the medal on.
You're never happy, AJ, but you just want a little bit more.
No, that little bit more. You just want that little bit more. But no, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant that was. What a surprise that was.
Well, it was great. We've been working on it, but it was absolutely amazing to get him on. Sorry I couldn't get too many comments on there at the end. I was just so nervous having Danny Simpson on that I was going to press the wrong thing.
And Sam Bailey.
He's a human being, Phil.
Sam Bailey there ribbing.
He's not. He's a legend.
Sam Bailey coming on ribbing him.
I know. I couldn't not ask him them questions, could I?
No, it was great. Well, we need to get Sam back on again. I've done it before, Jamie. I am like a school kid. Whenever I meet a player in real life, I just go like, I can't speak.
Well, when I was the same, when we did the first Vichai walk, me and Chappie, well, Chappie knew him anyway, but me and Chappie met Joey Taggart and Matt Elliott upstairs, and I didn't know what to say to him. Can I have you? I was wanting a photo, and I was like really nervous, asking for a photo. It's another human being, but it was like one of my heroes. I was thinking, do you mind if I have a photo? Even though I've been chatting for 5 minutes with him, I still.
Jamie,
felt
how do you think?
right,
How do you think I feel? How do you think I feel? I played football with them twice. Well,
why? Do you get people asking for your photos then?
No, but I'm saying, no, but
who you are? Why?
Listen, right. Let's finish
live. Sorry,
you know what?
We are. Yeah, this is for our post-live chat. Listen, everybody. Lee, thanks for joining us today.
No, it's been a pleasure. What a day! Happy Champions Day, everyone, and here's to you all on a hopefully a fresh season when everything's back to normal.
Brilliant, Jamie. Plug your show.
Champions. See you all later. Happy Leicester. Happy Champions Day.
Don't forget, Jamie is live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
Tomorrow morning, yes, and Monday night, Dean Hammond.
Dean Hammond on Monday night, 7:30.
Tuesday afternoon, or Tuesday lunchtime, Simon Grayson.
Wednesday,
Paul Konchesky. And there's one more on Saturday, but I can't remember.
I tell you what, I'm still starstruck from Danny Simpson. But listen, Jamie, you keep working, keep organising.
Keith Gillespie on Saturday.
All right, brilliant.
See you all.
I'm going to let you two go.
Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you follow us on socials
at
Leicester Fan TV on Twitter, Instagram, you name it. We're there. Subscribe on YouTube as well. We're hitting 5,000.
Thank you.
Go. Hit the subscribe.
Thanks, guys. Wow. Champions League day, and we got Danny Simpson. We've been working hard. Jamie's been getting all these different players in. Well, I've been told, hopefully, I have been told as well. Richard Stearman's helping us out here, bless. He said, Andy King said he'll come on as well another day. So keep it here. Keep watching Leicester Fan TV. As Jamie says, he's doing his Monday. Oh, so I've told you I've lost the plot. Sunday show. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. We've got then Monday. We've got. I've lost it. Honestly, I've just lost it because of having Danny Simpson on. I'm like a school kid. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for getting all your comments in and joining us on a very, very special show from me, Phil. Thanks for watching. Go on, like and share it, retweet it, wherever you're watching this, whatever you're doing, help us out. Subscribe to us on Leicester Fan TV. Go to the website, do all those things. See you on Monday. Cheers.